I would like to see like cities covered in a green infrastructure.
But I think nature was the first designer. We need to start incorporating nature more into our lives.
Nature has so many years of experience, but it doesn't have the technology. But if you combine it, you get something beautiful out of it.
2011, I went back to Shanghai to my family, and I had an internship, a prolonged internship there, and I did a lot of outdoor activities, including sports. And after a while, I started to notice that my health deteriorated, and I didn't know where that came from. So in the beginning, I thought maybe I caught a flu, I caught the cold. So I stayed indoors, I reduced the activities, and it did get slightly better. But only when I went back to Germany, it completely vanished. And that's where I realized that it was the outdoor air quality that caused a massive impact on my health. Okay, now I was able to come back to Germany, but my family is constantly living in China. Wherever they go, they're basically exposed to the bad air quality, right? And that's when I got together with my co-founders. All of us, we shared a similar experience that when we were living in like those big cities, whenever we got close to nature, in a park, even like just a green wall, we immediately started to realize that the air quality was better and the air was more fresh and more cool.
We founded Green City Solutions to make the world a better place. What we are doing is we are combat the problem of air pollution, and we do this with the help of our nature.
Found out that there is a plant which is even more capable of binding fine dust and then converting it into biomass. So that's what really fascinated us.
Moss cultures have the ability to absorb our pollutants out of the air. They are over 500 million years old. Over 20,000 different species are on our planet. You find them in the desert, but also on the North Pole. So they are really adapted to their climate you can find them in. The initial idea was that we bring these mosses back to cities.
Moss literally eats all the pollution and then converts it into biomass, and this is unlike anything else on this planet.
Me and my team, we came up with our way of producing moss mats vertically, which nobody else is doing, basically. We're also conducting a lot of basic research to understand the moss a lot better. Motivation for working for Green City Solutions and coming here to work every day is that I'm asthmatic. Actually, since I've been working here in the countryside, working a lot with moss, I haven't had to use my inhaler in months.
Whenever we talk about this product, people are like it's an eye-opener for them that the moss we use to clean the city is basically the same moss which is in their backyard or at a wall somewhere, and everybody thinks it's just something bad which you have to take out, but it's the opposite. So that's a beautiful thing that people have really this trigger of, oh great, now I know that it's part of the whole ecosystem which makes our lives better.
Our solutions are not meant to replace the trees, but it's about enhancing the ecosystem. You know, we have an advantage in front of every other solution in the market, which is a psychological factor, because we bring nature back to the city.
I saw a speech from the 90s where politicians talked about that we have to change our behavior and the CO2 output, and nothing happened. And now we see that things are starting to be better.
For instance, there's this one story about an installation we did in Budapest, and there was an elderly couple who lived really close by. They told me personally like how after we installed the city tree, the dust that was always covering the windows reduced for a while.
A product like ours, we can put it here right at Potsdamer Platz in Berlin, and people go there and see it and see, okay, great, this is like a positive example of how change can happen.
We are in a field of technology. We start to change, and that makes me also optimistic that we can do it, and that would be the biggest thing humanity would manage to.